Thank you, sir. Thank you for giving me this opportunity. I would like to welcome everyone to this first ever virtual All India Ophthalmic Conference. I'll be speaking on the topic understanding the phaco machine. No financial interest. Let's take a second and thank Dr. Charles Calman for the innovation of this very beautiful machine, which we are now using daily. Aim of a good phacosurgery is low endothelial damage with very minimal use of power without any complication, less fluctuation inside the anterior chamber, and this gives a very great post-operative visual acuity. So component of the phaco machine can be divided majorly into three category. One is the ultrasound power, other is the fluidic system, and the foot paddle. If we talk about the ultrasound probe, it gets is its energy from the vibrating piezoelectric crystal, which moves the phaco tip back and forth, creating a jackhammer effect. Frequency of each individual handpiece is fixed depending on the company and the phaco handpiece, while the stroke length can be variable depending on our settings which we set. If we talk about the component, we have one irrigation port, one aspiration port, one port for delivering the phaco energy, and the tip is covered by the sleeves. We have different tip size and sleeve size. The fluidics is basically the inflow and the outflow of the BSS from the eye. The inflow depends on the bottle height, or in advanced machine, the irrigation pressure, the bevel size of the sleeve or the sleeve size, the tubing system bore size. Outflow depends on the pump which we are using, the bore size of the tubing system and the phaco tip, and any leakage in the wound. So if we talk about different pump, there are majorly two pumps. First being the peristaltic and the most commonly used. The peristaltic pumps basically uses a roller which compresses the phaco tubing, creating a continuous milking action, which is responsible for the aspiration of the fluid from the eye and generation of the vacuum once the tip is occluded. Whereas in Venturi pump system, there's a high pressure, low flow air which is transmitted to make low pressure, high velocity, creating a vacuum which is transmitted to the eye via rigid drainage cassette. The basic difference being peristaltic pump is a flow base and Venturi pump is a vacuum based system. Vacuum is created only after the occlusion in peristaltic system, while in Venturi, vacuum is created instantly via the pump. Flow is constant until occlusion in the peristaltic pump, whereas in Venturi, the flow varies with the vacuum level. Drainage of the BSS is in soft bag in peristaltic, and the drainage in the Venturi is in the rigid cassette. Now we have to keep in mind that the balance between inflow and outflow should be maintained throughout. It should be either equal or slightly, inflow should be slightly higher. Why? Once the outflow increases the inflow, there's sudden shallowing of the anterior chamber, which we call surge, and it is very dangerous for the beginner surgeons. If we talk about the foot paddle settings, there are basically three steps. First being irrigation, it is all or none. Second being aspiration, it is usually continuous. And third stage being the phacoemulsification. There are also foot paddle in which we can directly shift to phaco energy from any part of the any level of the aspiration by twisting it outwards. The energy is basically calculated with the stroke length. Stroke length is the amplitude of the movement of the phaco tip. Higher the energy, higher will be the movement, back and forth movement. Now coming to the phaco power modulation, basically there are three phaco power modulation being used. One is the continuous, in which the power increases as we go forward in the stage 3, foot pedal stage 3. In pulse mode, the interval between on and off is decided, and the energy increases as we go forward in step 3. In burst mode, there the energy dissipated is kept constant, but as we go forward in this foot position 3, the interval between on and off cycle decreases, and at the end of the foot position 3, it basically turns into a continuous phaco mode. In newer machines like this White Star technology, the pulse is as small as 25 duty cycle, keeping your phaco tip very cool. Now coming on the advancement, we have torsional phaco. Rather than traditional back and forth movement, these torsional phaco system, they deliver a sideways movement or a circular movement, giving more efficiency and less energy required. There are different phaco tips available, different shapes and different size and different angulation. They all have their advantages in different settings. Talking about the basic phaco setting, I'll be discussing about the peristaltic machine. Basically, we have power. We can set power. The IOP is dependent on the bottle height or the irrigation pressure as in active fluidics. The aspiration can be set. It is basically the cc per minute withdrawal of BSS from the eye. And the vacuum, it is the holding force which we get. Now, depending on the different stages of the surgery, we should modulate the settings. Like in pre-chop mode, our aim is to removal of the anterior loose cortical material. The bottle height should be low. Aspiration should be around 27 centimeter or low, and vacuum should be moderate. In sculpt mode, our aim is to create a trench in divide and conquer or stop and chop. So we don't need much of a holding force. So all the parameters should be kept low. Whereas in chop, we need to hold the nucleus firmly to divide it. So we have to have a high aspiration and high vacuum. To counteract this, we need to have a high bottle height as well. The settings should be similar in quadrant removal mode. All the parameters should be slightly higher. In epinuclear mode, we have to remove the soft epinucleus, but keeping in mind we should not touch the posterior capsule. So bottle height should be moderate and aspiration should be moderate, whereas vacuum, because we have to hold and aspirate, the vacuum should be slightly higher. In cortex removal, the purpose is to remove the adherent lens cortex from the bag. So the vacuum should be high. We also have to keep in mind the port size of the aspiration port in irrigation IA probe is very small. So we have to keep a high vacuum. Bottle height should be moderate and aspiration rate should also be moderate. While in visco removal, we have to thoroughly remove all the viscoelastic material. So we have to set all the parameters in high flow, high vacuum, and even high aspiration. To summarize, it was a very big topic, but I have covered it very briefly. To summarize, I just want to say we have to opt for appropriate settings to avoid any surge. We always have to keep in mind that inflow should be slightly more than the outflow. We should use pulse or burst mode rather than continuous phaco mode to give a cooling effect and avoid any wound burn or any complication. We have to customize our settings depending on the grade of nucleus, the step of surgery we are in, and the anterior chamber depth. Thanks for your patient listening.